Welcome back to Frostpunk. In the last episode we did get a fair amount of more relics into our city, and we are still working on what we can to explore all of the unexplored points in Frostland. It is 8 days, 22 hours until the next storm, and it is less than a day until this very annoying hazard finally ends. So, without further ado, let's just get back into the game. The hunters are definitely bringing enough raw food back, that's nice. We have a unit of scouts that is almost at their target. There we go, we have reached the Uprooted Tree. It looks like the cold has killed the roots and the wind did the rest. The only tree for miles. The tree is quite big. It must have been beautiful when it was green. What a sad sight. Now we can only chop it to pieces and take the wood. So we shall do. Lying rock, that'll take us 1 day, 4 hours. Let's go back to the lone boulder. So this should be less than 16 hours for that to actually be worth it. Probably isn't. I'd think it is though. The shipments have reached the outposts. We still have only neutral relations with them. The favor is high though. I don't think it's any point in continuing to trade with them because it doesn't seem to affect their relations, even though personally I think it should affect the relations, because we're giving them things they need in return for things that they have an excess of. Because if the only thing that we can affect the relations with it though is those random events regarding the steam cores, it's going to be a balancing act all the time. We've reached both Maze Rock and the Frozen Excavation. This is an exploration point. Scattered Sleds and Rock Spire. That's an exploration point. This is not, so let's go there. Several sleds pointing in various directions. We cannot see any movement or other signs of life. This rock is a distinct spot. Site discovered, old shelter and large crater. Large crater, that seems promising. Let's go there. Shipment has reached the children's mine, but these have also reached the lone boulder, so yeah, that was actually worth it for once. Let's go there. That's an exploration point. Shipment has reached. I don't think anything has happened. Nah. Then I'll just skip trading with them. The hazard is going to go away, thankfully. Temperature should be very comfortable in the city now. We have reached the Scattered Sleds. Finally some steam cores. Well then, this was the scene of a massacre. The sleds are overturned and damaged by powerful blows, and we found some human remains. Butchered by beasts. This expedition was attacked by polar bears, judging from the damage to the sleds. Most of the bodies are dismembered, bones bear deep bite marks and signs of chewing. Luckily for us, the animals were not interested in the steam cores carried on the sleds. 3 steam cores and 50 wood. Let's move on to the rock spire then. I see no point in going back there to go there. Back to normal. The temporary hazard has passed and its negative effects no longer apply. We are back to normal for now. That seriously affects our income of both raw food, 801 again, and coal. We can keep things at regular shifts. I think everyone is... Wait, we have people not living near a house of prayer and a fighting arena. What? I need to find out where that is. Scouts have reached the lying rock. We've discovered a huge crate. Okay. A big boxy shape lies amid the white. Looks like an enormous crate. Okay, I'm going to keep it on post while I try to find out what the heck house is not covered. Could it be that one? No. This one is covered. It could be this house. And indeed it is. No, because I have... That doesn't even make sense. Insofar as I can tell, everything is covered by fighting arenas and temples. Or houses of prayer. Do I have any houses outside of the... This... Do I have a care house somewhere? Aha! That could be the problem. But nobody's living here. Nobody's living here either. And the children, they do not live in these buildings, so those are irrelevant. I will deal with that care house right away. We can't place it there, but we can place it up here. And then we can tear down this one. But I don't understand. I wish there was some kind of an overlay where I could see this. And now this just doesn't make sense to me at all. They are most certainly, everyone is most certainly covered, as far as I can tell. We have no patients either. So it can't be them. I sure as heck haven't built any kind of a house out here. Let's be as systematic as possible with this. These four are covered. All of these are covered. All of these are covered. And all of these are covered. This one covers all of these. And this one covers the final two up here. So then we move on to the next row. These are covered. All of these are covered all the way over there, which is then crossed over by that one. This one covers everything here. This one covers everything here. And again, in the middle, everything is covered here. Could it be a bug? If you guys see a building that I'm not seeing that isn't given a white outline, please let me know, because I really can't find it. House. But that house is covered by this one. It has a white outline. And both of those are covered as well. Surely it would have to be something on the very edge. Because everything in the middle is most definitely covered. Yeah, no, I don't get this. It really does not make sense to me. Anyways, moving on from that, I want to build 3 child shelters, because I want to move them over here. And then 1, 2, 3. We can move these child shelters from here, and I don't know if we want to have the child shelters there, but we'll see. We'll see. Sorry about that digression, by the way, but that's just frustrating when it says that there are 5 people we're not living near, and I'm almost certain, or rather I am certain, that I have full coverage. Yeah, I really would have liked if there was some kind of an overlay for that. Alas, there is not. Scouts have reached the large crater. There's a snow crawler down in the crater near the edge, and we can see people moving about. These people sought shelter in this crater during a blizzard, only to discover that their crawler couldn't climb out of it. Sites discovered the Lone Automaton. Let's escort these to the city. Lone Automaton is there. We've reached the huge crate. Aha, steam cores. It's a crate of the kind used to transport heavy and valuable cargo. Why was it dumped in the middle of nowhere? Too heavy to haul. This crate is too sturdily built to disassemble, but we managed to open it. It might have been left because of its weight, and someone was probably planning to come back for it. 3 more steam cores. Are we going to get 2 after the next storm? That's the final one there. The ice obelisk is down there. Yeah, let's just go right down there, actually. I don't think we'll save any time by going via the lying rock. That's 4 hours. This is 22 hours. Yeah, no. Let's just move right down there. These guys are almost out there. Good. Good, good, good. If I could name the city sections, this would be the kindergarten section. Now let's dismantle these 3 child shelters, because this is a better place to have houses. That's another thing. When you have people living who don't have access to those facilities, you would think that it is the facilities that are closest to where they would go to work. AKA, these houses are mostly uninhabited, whereas the ones near to the generator are actually surprisingly enough populated. These ones are mostly not inhabited because they are on the edge, so they have nowhere to go to work. These houses are almost certainly fully populated because it's close to the workplaces here. Ah, never mind. $552. Could it be the automatons? Really? It's the automatons! Jeesh! All that time because of the automatons. Okay. Well, then I hope that people have learned something from that, because this also counts the automatons. Jeesh. We don't really need more houses, so I think I'll skip on building more of those. Besides, we'll get a silly... that one's not covered by anything. We could build a house there. Then we could go into public and we can build... that's probably too small for a large... We could build a medium square here. I think they're nice to have around. Did I build street lamps? Yes, I did. I did build street lamps on this road. We should build some street lamps, actually. I built them on that section around here. 3 of them. If we build them at each intersection... and we go out and we do the same here. Build them at each intersection going out. Not everyone, because of these. That one probably is the wiser one. We do the same here. I mean, we can afford as many as we like of them. And hopefully they'll pretty up the city as well. On these, we'll just have to go into be building them on the and here. Aha. I don't have a road there, I think. Yeah, I do. Just a visual. There we go. And we can do the same here. I should build some roads up between these child shelters as well. Let's do that first. There's no road there either, for some reason. There we have those, and then we can build a street lamp there. I think I'd rather have 2 of them here. One there and one there. We have one here. Well, there's going to be plenty of things for you guys to build now, that's for sure. Don't know how important street lamps are for the automatons, to be honest, but why not? Pretties up the city, which is something that really is not that bad of an idea. We have a street lamp there, so we don't need one there. And we can also build some street lamps along the way out to the mines. Don't know how much we would need street lamps going down there, because people are never going to go there anyways. This road I think I want to remove. But we can have some here. Yep. Plenty of street lamps being built. But why not? They're going to be decorative. I spent a fair amount of steel on that. Sorry, I was taking a sip of water there. We've reached the rock spire. And we have discovered the abandoned campsite, so let's move on to that. A large camp, partially buried under the snow. I'll have another sip of water, so the game will probably present something to me. Amazingly enough, it didn't. Oh, I got 2 achievements. Hyde Park Corner. Have a town square of each size and let there be light. Was that what it was called? Or was it City of Light? Let me see. Something about light. Let there be light. Build 10 street lamps. That's one thing that I wish I could do with achievements in Steam. You know, when you have the achievements screen open, it would be nice to be able to sort them based on the date that you obtained them. Okay, back to the game and tiny whine about Steam implied. We really do not need to be on that speed. Yeah, now I have to look at the generator, whether or not we have to crank it up. Not really. Do the street lamps do anything? No, they're just decorative. That's not what I meant to do. More Steam Core thingies? Oh, one of your men is causing trouble. He's rude towards people who didn't offer him the slightest provocation and likes to loudly ridicule our way of life. Some of our children skipped work after they heard him say that they should not be employed at all. We demand that you recall this man immediately. Of course, I apologize. That's not something that I will stand for anyways. Now I'm friendly with Hot Springs and I'm friendly with Shipwreck Camp. Of course, we want them to be loyal, if that is even possible, in retrospect of how many random events we would have to go through, and we're already in day 54. Scouts have reached the abandoned campsite. A large group must have camped here. They left plenty of rubbish lying around. Tent poles, crates and so on. Not everything here is rubbish. The crates and sacks contain a lot of useful supplies. Why were they left behind? Not our problem. Yes, I definitely read that before. Now I think I want to send these guys down here. Can I send them to Hot Springs? Yes, I can. Then they can move down to the Desolate Valley from there. Where are our other scouts currently? One of them is headed back to the city with survivors, and the other one is almost at the ice obelisk. Great. And there we are. We have discovered the Circle of Stones. A dozen or so large stones set in a circle. We can see movement between them. Interesting. More survivors. Possibly. And the scout unit number 67 have returned safely to the city with a few workers, some children, and some materials for us. We will send them out again. The question is, to where? Yeah, to the large crater, so we can go to the Lone Automaton and then off to the old shelter afterwards. "6 days. We have reached the circle of stones. A large group of people have set up camp inside the stone circle. They seem exhausted. Lost scientists. These scientists were sent with their families to a settlement in the north, only to find that it doesn't exist. They tried to find any kind of shelter until they ran out of supplies. It's a small group of people. Let's escort them to the city. That's nasty. And that seems to be all of the exploration points out here in that direction too, so we only have these 3 down here left. Great. This morning. Do these street lamps? Yeah, they do. They actually look quite nice. I can go into photo mode so that we can move one further step in and we can remove the UI and we can kind of look at the city. The street lamps are really quite nice actually. Yeah, they're very decorative. Looks much better with those street lamps in here, although it looks a bit cramped to be honest. But what can you expect? I think this crampedness is actually a good thing. If you think logically, it means that they get more heat from each other, these houses. Ah, then we have to crank up the generator, because I think everything is now still chilly. No, it's cold. Now it should be chilly. Good. 5 days until the storm. We're almost at our limit of rations. We've reached the hot springs, so let's go on to the desolate valley. And let's move on over here. Where are those? One is there and one is behind there. Okay. So we can just continue to build 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's just sheer luck that it actually connects to that, because yeah, I did not expect that at all. The road is kind of mismatched here. Gah. But I want to follow the road. How many small resource depots are there room for behind here? Quite a few, actually. Let's build those as well. That'll give people something to do. I can't fit 2 of them. We can use the ones in the back to store raw food, I think. This is going to take days to build. There we go, and then we can just build a long, nice stretch of road going to there, and continue that long stretch of road going to there, and we go down every second, I think. Perfect. And we have reached the large crater. Let's move on to the Lone Automaton. Incredibly, we can see an automaton standing still amidst the whiteness. Sounds promising in terms of steam cores, although 9 steam cores in total seems a little bit low on terms of what I expected. I wonder if we're going to get people getting ill from the cold working out in this area. When the flying hunters return, I'm going to take them off work shift. We can crank the generator down 1 level again. And if you're wondering why I'm going to take them off, it's because I want them to build. Because that is a substantial amount of workers that we get to build. Ah, these have returned. 3 steam cores. We need to send them out right away. This one is moving over there. This one is moving down there. Let's go to the Mace Rock. Take out these workers, take out these workers, take out these workers, and we need to put them back in around 4. So I'm going to be running the game at speed 2 currently. Maybe I'll just take that road and pull it all the way up here actually. Scouts have reached the Lone Automaton. The automaton seems to have suffered a serious malfunction. We might be able to salvage something from it at least. Broken beyond repair. This automaton carried some cargo with it, but nothing that would allow us to fix it. We had to partially dismantle it to get to the valuable parts. 3 automatons again. Let's go to the old shelter. These guys probably can just be sent back home, to be honest. I'm surprised that we haven't gotten more people. Very surprised. We have this huge crater here that we are living in, and the fact that we don't get more people than this, I would have expected us to be well above 1,000 citizens by now. We are, of course, getting these smaller groups of people, but I was thinking that we'd get these large group of citizens coming in. 609 should be living there. Good. I think we'll just skip the flying hunters for today, to be honest. Leave them building. We have plenty of food anyways. But we've reached the desolate valley. That's an exploration point, and that moves on to the ruined hut all the way down here, which is another exploration point. Okay, you guys veer off and go to the desolate valley instead, please. Food rations, food rations, food rations, food rations, food rations, more food rations. It's early in the morning. Let's set up 10 to contain raw food. No, we don't need 10. 5 should be more than sufficient actually. And the rest of them, food rations. Not raw food, food rations. And then these down here, we also set these to be food rations. Can I target that? Yes, I can. It's getting even warmer, but we don't need to do anything to the reactor currently. And these final ones, I think we'll set 1 to steel, 1 to wood, and the 3 others to coal. So how much can we store now? I think everything is set up. We can store 87,300 coal, 19,650 wood, 7,500 steel, 6,150 raw food, and 36,000 food rations. Not bad. Let's send them on to the ruined hut, but when the other one arrives there, we'll just send them after them. I don't know if it will put them on a known path. This shelter is of the old type, which doesn't offer adequate protection from the cold. There might still be supplies inside. This place was really well stocked and then probably forgotten, as it's not built to withstand the extreme cold. All the better for us. Some steel and some food. And I think these guys need to go home now. And we're done with all those buildings, so we can put people back into the hunters' hangars. We have 3 steam cores. Let's send off proper infirmaries and better healthcare. What? Why do we still have... There we go. And these guys have reached the ruined hut, another exploration point. We've discovered the rocky promontory. We'll go there. These guys are now traveling along a known route. I doubt there's going to be much... There's probably not going to be a secondary site down here. After all, it's only 3 days left until the storm is coming. People are hungry. Well then, we have a month of food. The shipments have reached those camps. Did that affect the relations? No, we didn't. I'd like to take a picture for the thumbnail while it is night because of the nice street lamps that we have now. This looks like a potentially good angle. Yeah, we have a garden here. Yep, that's perfect. There we go. I normally do the pictures in between sessions, but I want street lamps to be part of the title for this series, as you all know by now. After all, we're at the very end. We've reached the ruined hut. Let's just stay there. Now what? Storm on the horizon. So these are at the very edges of the map. Let's send these guys home then. It's 2 days through 23 hours until the storm arrives. So this is in the last moment. We have reached the rocky promontory. We found traces of human presence in the twisty passages between the boulders. They don't seem recent. Adequate shelter. We found several frozen bodies in sleeping bags around the remains of a fire. These people had plenty of fuel and food, but the cold got them anyway. And that's the final exploration point of this... I don't know what we should call this. This in between storm sessions or something. So the storm is going to be -90 as expected. But I think that this is a good time to end the episode here. In the next one, we will send off the shipments that is required to update these 2 settlements to the maximum level, which is the steam mine upgrade and the metal cutting tools. I don't expect that they will require any further shipments after that. So, well, this one has turned friendly. And this one turned friendly because of the event. Yeah, thank you all so very much for joining me. And I will be seeing you all in the next episode that involves the, what would this be? The 4th storm? Yeah, I think it's the 4th storm. Let's hope we survive it.